Good afternoon, Zimbabwe. My name is Anesu Maposa from Pamushana News. Today we're joined with the firebrand founder of the Combined Restitution Association for Zimbabwean Youths, Mr. Elvis Mugari, and the shadow member of parliament for Zaka West constituency representing the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you tell us more about who is Elvis Mugari?
Elvis Mugari is a prominent human rights activist and a politician. I can say that. Elvis Mugari was born on the 27th of September 1990 in Zaka, Masvingo. And, finished ordinary level in 2008 and advanced level in 2011. Currently I'm studying a diploma in global governance with the London Institute of Management, and as well studying a degree in political science and economics with the University of South Africa through distance learning. So in short, I can say that's Elvis Mugari.
Okay, if I can take you back, so we want the people, is that you're saying you'll be contesting for member of parliament in Zaka West?
Yes.
We want to know more. Which schools did you go to? Which primary school did you go to? Which years? Which high school? And
Zengo Primary School. From 2000 and I wrote my grade 7 in 2004. Then from 2004 I went to Magura High School in Masvingo, where I did my ordinary level from 2004 to 2008. Then from there I came here to Harare. I was at Ridgeview One High School. I did my A level there, and I was doing commercials. And from 2011 to 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, where were you staying at that time?
I was staying in Waterfalls.
Waterfalls.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fine. So, can you tell us more about your educational and professional prowess?
All right. My educational background is I stated earlier.
Yes.
From advanced level, doing commercials, and then I choose to take a political field.
Okay.
Why? Because I like politics, and it's something which is really in me.
Okay.
So I said I have to pursue politics.
Okay.
And that's why, because of economic hardships we are facing here in Zimbabwe, I didn't pursue it in time.
Okay.
Like studying my degree in political science. I was aiming to study at the University of Zimbabwe, but because of financial, problems, I didn't manage to do that.
Okay.
But as time goes on, and I decide to invest more in my education, as I'm studying right now global governance.
Okay.
And global governance touches a lot of courses, including international politics, international law, international economics, and international business. So I'm trying to build my educational background as well as my career. On the same time, I'm studying a degree in economics and political science with the University of South Africa, through distance learning. Okay. Yeah. So that I think that's the only way to build myself, and as well as a better contribution to my career as an ambitious politician.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us more about your family you come from and the community that you grew up in?
I grew up in a rural setup in Masvingo, Zaka.
Okay.
And an underdeveloped rural area, and underdeveloped constituency. As we know, I'm a last born in a family of 7, together with my twin sister. We were triplets, but unfortunately one passed on.
Oh, sorry.
We are the last borns in a family of 7, 4 boys and 3 girls.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and your parents, are they both alive?
Yes, they are both alive, and they are in Masvingo right now in Zaka. And my father is a prominent MDC activist and politician.
Okay,
also.
so
Yes.
you got it from the father.
I got it from my father.
Okay, well, what's your father's name? Is it in the public domain or is one of the secret ones?
No, it's not. I cannot say it's in the public domain, but it's not secret.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's Mr. Mugari.
Mr. Mugari.
Yes.
Okay. And your mother?
Yes, she's alive and she's there and she
Okay.
supported me very, very well. But the first days, I started activism in 2013.
Okay.
The very first day I met Itai Zamara in town.
Okay.
Itai Zamara introduced me to activism.
Okay.
He explained a lot about these programs then, and I find it very noble to stand for what I believe in as an individual.
Yes.
To stand for what is right, not for me, but for the people of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So Itai Zamara introduced me into activism.
Okay.
We demonstrated times without number together. We walk along the streets of Harare demonstrating against the current system with Mr. Itai Zamara. At one point in time, I got abducted in Bedbridge. I was on my way from South Africa.
Okay.
And some at the border, some 3 guys came and abducted me and put me into their vehicle. And what I know is they injected me with an injection. So from there, I didn't know what was going on. So I spent 3 days of torture, and later on released me. So all these things, or all these happenings were strengthening me or give me courage and resistance to this current regime.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very sad to hear. But when you say they injected you, did you go for medical checkups after that? Or?
Yes, I did but it was after 3 days. I went to CSU.
Okay.
And they take me to avenues where I have been given a medicine to neutralize whatever drug maybe they have.
Did they find out which drug they injected you with? Or?
They didn't find.
Okay.
But I lost my memory soon after being injected.
Okay. Were you tortured? Were you beaten up? Or?
Yeah, I was beaten. I was thoroughly beaten up for 3 nights.
Okay.
Yes, and I was under hostage, and I don't even know the place.
Okay.
Where we were. So they later on released me, but I was really in serious pain. They dumped me along the road, the Bedbridge Harare highway.
Okay.
And then I tried to look for transport to come here.
Okay.
It was very unfortunate that I wasn't really me, because I was really in serious pain. I was finding it very difficult to walk.
Okay.
But like to a certain truck driver who saw me by the roadside, and he stopped and he tried to talk to me and then assist me.
Did you report the matter to the police?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
We reported the matter to the police through the Lawyers for Human Rights,
Okay.
Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights, and the police says we went to Bedbridge for investigation with the lawyers and the police, but the efforts were very much fruitless.
Okay.
Yes.
And how does doesn't that traumatizes you in you being an activist? The memories of your abduction.
It did. It is really a challenge. Sometimes it comes to my mind and my vision what I passed through, but I'm becoming someone who is now strong, and I'm taking it as it is, and I'm saying that was the past and we need to move forward. And I've said to myself, I'm ready to die for what I believe in. Even if I die today, I'll die very happy, because I'm trying to free myself, not only myself, but I'm trying to free the next generation as well.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You've actually gone into my other questions.
All right.
Which
yeah.
were coming up. Like, when did you go into activism? What inspired you? Okay. So I wanted to find out, on your activist side, which programs have you been part of?
I've been part of a lot of program. I was leading a program, a campaign against the Vice President Pelekezela Mpoko, December 2015.
Okay.
We have organized, there was an international event, ICASA, at Rainbow Towers.
Okay.
So we went there with our placards, and we were saying by then it was about more than 270 days.
Okay.
The vice president living lavishly in the hotel on the expense of the general public. And we're saying, us as Zimbabweans were finding it very difficult to have a decent meal on the table. But the vice president of the country is living lavishly in a 5-star hotel on the expense of the general public, using taxpayers' money. So we went there to demonstrate against the vice president. Unfortunately, the vice president wasn't around on the day.
Okay.
So we went, and there was this program, a CASA program.
Okay.
We lifted our placards and we started to distribute. We were 5. Started to distribute flyers. And we were distributing the flyers to hotel residents, threatening hotel residents could undo the vice president, vacate this place. If you see any problem or see any disaster around this complex, you blame yourself. Don't blame us, don't blame the people, because the vice president is using the taxpayers' money. The civil servants are not receiving their bonus in time. The civil servants are not receiving their salaries in time. But someone is using $1,220 per day. The Constitution talks about the equality in the distribution of resources, of national resources, whether income, land, or whatever, all resources. So we were calling equality. We need equality. If we use 1,200, let's all Zimbabweans use 1,200 a day, because other Zimbabweans down there are finding it very difficult to have, and we are surviving with less than 35 cents a day. So it is really a tragedy, and a tragedy of a gigantic proportion. So we went there, and the vice president, the police came and arrested us, and the police detained us for 48 hours, and we were being charged with criminal nuisance. And we didn't appear before the court. We went to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General says we are going to continue with, release them, we are going to continue with summon. That was the first action I did against the vice president. The other action we did with Itai Zamara.
If I can just hold you on to that, which organization were you representing when you went to HICC? I
wasn't representing any organization. I was a concerned citizen.
Okay.
Yes, I was a concerned citizen.
Okay.
Then again with Itai Zamara, we're representing the Occupy Africa Unity Square, the organization which has been founded by Itai Zamara. We went to Parliament and we presented a petition to Parliament. Said, Parliament of Zimbabwe should impeach President Robert Mugabe, because President Robert Mugabe is become fragile and has become, a liability to the state of Zimbabwe. On his birthday, he said, using his mouth, we have lost 15 billion. But he's the head of state. That is the main reason we said the Parliament said, no, you have to impeach the president, because we know 15 billion. Our budget by then was 3 billion, but we've lost 15 billion from diamonds. And he said, Parliament, you have to impeach Robert Mugabe. We went to Parliament, we submitted the petition, but we got arrested by the police and got brutally assaulted by the police. They detained us again for 48 hours later to go to court, and then we were free on bail. So I have pioneering a lot of activities. But most of those actions and activities were against the status quo, were against the bad governance or the poor governance by the current system, which is being led by Robert Mugabe.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So apart from those two, were there any other flagship programs that you?
Yes, a lot of them. I worked with the Tajamka guys. Okay. I was part and parcel of the structure of the Tajamuka.
Okay.
I was coordinating. I was coordinating Harare province.
Okay.
Yes, and as well the NERA guys were working. Now at NERA I'm representing my political party, which is the People's Democratic Party now.
Okay.
So I have worked with the Tajamukas. I've worked with Linet Mdewe with the organization Zimbabwe Activist Alliance.
Yes.
And we did a lot of programs together. And we have worked again with the Democracy Advocate Alliance, which was being led by Shepard, the former MDC activist. Okay. And we did a lot of activities again together. I have worked with a lot of organizations.
Okay.
A lot of on the main reason was to push for change. That we are really pushing for change. The current status quo is really killing us as Zimbabweans.
Okay, but yes. From those programs, though, have you been seeing any change in the status quo, as you say?
The first one I saw the Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Pelekazila Mpoko, vacating rainbow towers. They give us another reason that by then there was the Chinese president were coming and they said through the Herald, the vice president has vacated the hotel to give room for the Chinese president. But we know that because what we did is we threatened as well the hotel management that we are going to threaten even your clients. And by then I have researched and realized that because of our threats, Rainbow Towers is lost a lot of revenue because of that. Because, you know...
Did you come up with a figure? Did you...
It's very unfortunate I didn't come with the exact figure, but they lost revenue.
Okay.
Because the guests were very much afraid of us. Because I have joined again the other day. That was the second time with Mr. Stenzor. I went there again and we caused chaos at the hotel. So the hotel residents were very much afraid.
Okay.
Yes, because the police were there and the police were threatening to fire tear gases and water tankers. So we have achieved that, the president vacated the hotel.
Okay. Tell us, Mr. Mugari, you seem like a very busy body.
Yeah.
How are you able to juggle the business between PDP and your activism?
I try by all means to balance between my activism and party politics. But I want you to know that all the politicians were once activists. The likes of Robert Mugabe, the likes of Morgan Tsvangirai, the likes of my president Tendai Bid. Those guys were in one point in time activists. What you do in activism, whenever you are maybe pioneering the programs or you are campaigning or you are advocating for something, you are building yourself politically. Because you later on graduate to become a politician. So some of the issues as opposition, we are fighting for a lot of things. For instance, electoral reforms, for instance, good governance. By the same token as activists who are pushing for the same thing, electoral reforms, good governance. So it's just one and the same. Because the more I did, I'm representing my party and I'm representing my activist life. And whenever I'm doing it, the reverse is very true. I'm representing my party as well.
Okay.
Yes. So it's just one and the same. Activists and political activists later on graduated to become politicians.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Can you tell us more about Crazy? What is Crazy? What does it do?
Crazy, the Combined Restitution Association for Zimbabwean Youth. It's a youth-led organization which has been, registered last year, 2016. The organization is advocating for youth leadership. I believe, or we believe as an organization, that the youth has to take over now. Because if we look through history, we know that, or we see that, or you can see that it is the responsibility of the young people, or it is the young people who have been providing the means always via which societies has been transformed. Let me take you back through history and ask yourself, and ask you, what was the age of those young Europeans who came here to colonize Africa? What was the age of Henry Model Stanley? What was the age of William Wilberforce? Those guys were very young, but they came here in Africa to colonize Africa. Here in Africa, what was the age of Nelson Mandela? What was the age of Lufe Branyi? What was the age of Kenneth Kaunda? What was the age of even Robert Mugabe? Those guys were very young, but with one thing, conviction, that Africa will be liberated. So I believe, or we believe as an organization, the young people should pioneer or should be engaged meaningfully so as to contribute to the development of our country, to the prosperity of our country. So it is the young people, it's our responsibility as the young people. So hence come up with the idea of establishing the organization. But now, as the name sounds, combined, we want to combine, we want to bring together the youth from all political parties to come together. And then we stand for the issues affecting the young people in Zimbabwe. So as an organization, we are not only fighting for the issues affecting the youth, we are fighting also against the issues which is maybe recently reducing our country to become, what it is today. For instance, corruption. We're fighting against corruption, and we're advocating for zero tolerance corruption. And we were saying to the parliamentarians and those who are in government, why can't we push for the declaration of assets? That is the only weapon we can use to fight corruption. Everyone, whenever you are taking a public office, whenever you are taking a public office, whether you're an MP, a minister, or a councillor, or a president, you have to declare your assets. Some other countries like Botswana, some other countries like Nigeria is doing it right now, or Tanzania with President John Pombe Magufuli. Tanzania is doing well because of that idea. The president said, let's all declare our assets, and that declaring our assets, it prevents, for us to steal from public. So that's why we as an organization, it's one of the thing we are really, really against it. We are advocating for zero tolerance for corruption, and as well as pushing for good governance and respect of the rule of law.
Okay.
Yes.
So what activities has Crazy been partaking on?
Crazy, recently we sent a petition to Rita Makarao, the ZEC chairperson, and we were reminding Rita Makarao that according to the constitution, the ZEC should be an independent institution. But as it stands, ZEC is not an independent institution. Who appointed you, Rita Makarao? Robert Mugabe appointed you as the ZEC chairperson. So that appointment affects the, independence of the commission. So we want Rita Makarao, we were saying to Rita Makarao, we need electoral reforms and media reforms. We need an equal ground. Because as an organization, we are pushing for youth leadership again. And come on 2018 as a youth organization, we are going to field independent candidates and independent councillors. Though I'm representing PDP, but we are going to field independent candidates and independent councillors if resource permits. So we again pushing for electoral reform. Say, Rita, please push for the alignment of those reforms. We need free and fair elections come 2018, because they're the young people who are targeting those public offices. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So when did you submit this petition?
We submitted the petition on the 16th of March this year, 2017.
Okay.
Yes.
And have you got any response yet?
Not yet. But we said to Rita Makarao, we are going back to here, I think in 2 weeks' time, we are going back to Rita Makarao. And we said we gave you our petition, and we gave you some time, 30 days to respond. But up to today, it's more than 30 days. What are you thinking? What are you planning?
So,
as our consent is concerned.
Okay, so what will be your course of action if she just ignores you?
We are going to demonstrate to ZEC. We are going to mobilize ourselves and other existing organizations, and then we demonstrate. And again, as an organization, last week we wanted to present a petition to the Zambia House, to the ambassador of Zambia here in Zimbabwe. We were saying we are concerned. We are not only fighting for democracy, not only in Zimbabwe, but in Africa is the war. Because we are in Africa. It's our region. The recent, arrest of one of the prominent opposition leader in Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, and the charge which he has been given a treason. And as much as we know, according to the constitution of Zambia, treason is not an easy offense. If you are charged with treason and if you are sentenced, the next thing is to be hanged. So we said we are appealing to the government of Zambia to release or to tender justice with mercy to Hakainde Hichilema. So we went to the police as per the Maposa requirements. Mm-hmm. We gave the police the letter of notification, and the police refused to give us the permission to march
to the Zambia
House.
Okay.
Citing prejudice, again citing that we are trying to tarnish their diplomatic relations with Zambia. So we said it's fine. Yesterday, I went to the police I give them a letter for notification, because we want again to hold the same demonstration next week on the 7th. But I said to the police yesterday,
which demonstration is this on?
To the Zambia House.
Okay.
Yes. And I said to the police yesterday, you refused to give us permission last week. This time, if you refuse to give us permission to march to the Zambia House, we are going to march. We are going to meet on the streets. Because I personally, as an individual or as crazy organization or as a political party, PDP, we believe in civil disobedience and mass activism. We believe in civil disobedience and mass activism. So we are going to meet. It's our constitutional right. Section 59 of the Constitution give us the right to demonstrate and to petition, as long as these rights are being exercised peacefully. We are peaceful citizens. We are not advocating for any violence, but the government is really infringing upon our constitutional rights. So we don't have option. We are going to meet with the police in the streets on the 7th of May, which is Wednesday next week. So these are some of the activities.
With or without the go ahead?
Without the go ahead, we are going to submit our petition. We are going to march from Kona Kwame Nkrumah in the Harare Street to Zambia House, which is at Kona Kwame and Julius Nyerere. Mm-hmm. With or without the permission of the police, we are going to march.
So what will happen in that case? That if they try to stop you, if they block you, how will you react to that?
If they block us, I believe sometimes eye for an eye makes the world blind. But sometimes eye for an eye is really important and critical and crucial.
But
we are going to retaliate.
Okay, and as you had rightly said that it is your constitutional right to have a peaceful demonstration.
Yes.
And that won't be peaceful, will it be?
That won't be peaceful, but if they try to, we have two options here. If they try to block us, we are going to file an agent chamber application to the High Court.
Okay.
Or we are going to resist. If they arrest us and if they beat us, it's okay. They'll be exposing their brutality to the international community.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We are going to resist, or we are going to file an agent chamber application to the High Court.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So is Crazy a briefcase organization? You've got some people involved. Who's involved within the day-to-day running of Crazy?
Crazy is not a briefcase organization. Crazy is a fully fledged organization. We have structures in now 6 provinces of this country, which is Masvingo, Harare, Mashonaland Central, Matabeleland South, Mashonaland East, and Matabele North.
Okay.
Yes. Now we're trying to establish again a structure in the Midlands. I think at the end of this month we're going to have our meeting in the Midlands, trying to establish a structure there.
Okay.
Yes. So it's not a briefcase organization. We are a small but a vibrant, growing organization.
Okay.
Yes.
So is it membership wise? Does somebody pay to join, or it's free membership?
It's free membership. You can't pay to join. What you need to do is only to subscribe to the objectives of the organization, not to subscribe through paying, but to be in concurrence with what we are fighting for as an organization. Yes. And
on your books, how many members do you have?
We now have 765 members around the country.
Okay.
Yes, 765 members, and we are mobilizing and we are recruiting. And most of our members are the young people from different political parties, from MDC, from People's Democratic Party, from NPP, from all existing political parties. Because we are saying we are political. Though I am a leader of a certain youth movement, People's Democratic Party, but if it is crazy, the business, it's non-partisan. So we're trying to combine, because the problem with our politicians here in Zimbabwe, you know, ZANU-PF has called for women, representation. There is poor youth representation in Zimbabwe. We want to advocating for youth participation. The youth should be involved or should be engaged in decision making nationally. They are not fully engaged with the current system, and even with existing opposition political parties, they are not fully, engaging, or they are not fully, engaging the young people, and the young people are not fully participating in all these political parties. They are being used, to further, political gains of other opposition, even other opposition political leaders. They are being used in violence. They are being used dirty work. So as an organization, we want to say no. The youth has all the energy. They can drive this country to another level. But on the best that the youth have been fully engaged. So we are calling as an organization again that the youth should be fully engaged, and we are calling for 70% total representation, both in economically, socially, and politically, because youth constitutes more than 67% of the entire population of Zimbabwe. That's why we are saying we need 70% proportional representation.
But do you think, young people, do you think that will come through though? Your demands? Do you think those demands will be met?
I think so. What is important is to push. What is important is to push. We have to push extra hard. We have to exert pressure on all those authorities.
And I understand that you're an aspiring shadow MP for Zaka West, representing PDP.
Yes.
And what are some of the programs that you're doing to reach out to the people, to mobilize people so that they can vote for you and elect you?
Well, Zaka West constituency is now a developed constituency. I can say that. Not only not developed in terms of infrastructure, but in terms of the electorate in Zaka West. The electorate are now mature, and they know what is good for them. Me being from Zaka, and that's my constituency, I feel more has to be done within my constituency. I have to stand for it. So far, 2018 is just around the corner.
Yes.
And I was engaging the young people, and I'm still engaging the young people in Zaka West constituency. I understand that the first thing we need to do is to unite the young people, not to divide them. So I have come up with the programs which is seeking to unite the young people, like football matches. During all this time, the young people around the constituency will be playing friendly matches. But on holidays like Easter, Heroes, Independence, Christmas, there will be a Mugari trophy.
Okay.
There will be a Mugari trophy. All the young people from 7 wards of Zaka West constituents will come together at a certain ground. I'll go at Long Chain Plaza to buy a less expensive trophy, and I'll go to the rural areas, and about $300-400 I'll go there.
Okay, do you have a sponsor for that? Is anyone sponsoring that tournament? Or
No, I'm doing it myself.
okay,
Yes, with other well-wishers.
Okay.
I cannot say they are sponsors, but they are just well-wishers.
Okay,
So I'm trying to bring the young people together. And last month I was there in Zaka, and I was walking around the constituency, and I met a lot of people, not only the young people but as well the elderly. And I was trying to conversing for support, and I was saying to them, we really need to. My aim is to make Zaka West a hub of modern development. Zaka West is underdeveloped because the current MP Mawere representing ZANU-PF don't even stay in Zaka. You stay in Goto. So he is not in touch with the reality on the ground in Zaka West. People are suffering. The young people are there and they are spending much of their time, roaring around rural communities, stealing people's goods, selling kettles. You see, it's because the leaders have failed to represent them. So I'm saying to the young people, I want to make Zaka West of a hub of modern development. We have growth points like Jerera, we have townships like Chipanza or something. We have to create employment for the young people. We cannot change people, but the only thing that can change people is to give them something to do, to pioneer them, not to dictate on them, but to engage them. What's the problem facing Zaka West? It's A, B, C, D. Let's work together with the electorate. Then we exchange ideas with the electorate, and we see how best can we solve the problem. That is how I'm maneuvering Zaka West constituency.
okay.
Yes.
And with the alleged violence from ZANU-PF during election period, what are you going to do to protect your cadres in Zaka West?
It's a prominent question, and recently I've been asked the same question by the same electorate in Zaka West, and they say, we know that ZANU-PF always use violence as a tool, because they know that people no longer have trust on them. Mugabe is now suffering from a disease I call Padrona syndrome, a refusal by a good dancer to leave the stage even if he or she is tired. And the people are fed up. Even those rural communities, people are fed up. But they know that prior to elections or before elections, Mugabe will descend on them. Mugabe and ZANU-PF will descend on them. So they was asking, how secure will be? And we said, as political parties or as individuals, as politicians, we are calling for other international boards to monitor the elections, such as AU, SADC, and as we are talking, we as an organization, Crazy, in conjunction with People's Democratic Party, we're planning to send a petition to UN and SADC to please, if you are not overseeing the electoral process in Zimbabwe, we are going to be killed. So please come and oversee the electoral process in Zimbabwe. So I think in a month's time, we are going to send a petition to UN and SADC. Ask them to do that. So I said to them, that's what we are doing. But in the case that have been victimized. We are working with the Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights who represent you. We have CSU for medical treatments. Those organizations, those charity organizations will assist us in whatever we're doing. But I said to them, let us be strong and resolute. This is our last chance to vote Mugabe and ZANU-PF out of office.
So, can you tell us, though, out of interest sake, how you rose through the ranks to into becoming the shadow member of parliament for Zaka West? How did you rise through PDP? When did you join PDP? What made you join it? If you can just be brief.
Okay, I joined the PDP 2015, December 2015. I met with Honorable Tendai at a certain program, and at SAPS, and he was explaining, and it was a justice interview. And I got interested. The guy has wisdom. It's a man of wisdom. And we exchange ideas and I explained to him, and he said, I know you. I saw you in papers. You are Mugari, you are an activist. We were working with I explained a lot. Why can't you join a political party? Because each and every activist who in one point graduate to become a politician. You are a politician. The way you articulate everything you are doing, you are a politician. So we talked, we built a strong relationship with Tendai, and later on I joined PDP.
Okay.
That's how I joined the PDP. There I got elected as Harare Provincial Youth Chair, and I was in initiating a lot of programs in Harare, and I managed to build structures for PDP in Harare, and I rose to be in the national youth wing.
Okay.
So that's how I got appointed to represent my constituency. I show interest to the party that I want to represent my constituency.
Okay.
And they say you are free to do that.
So which position do you hold within PDP currently?
Currently, I'm the National Youth Secretary for Civil Society and Civil Coordination. Since I am the founder of Crazy, it's a civil society organization. They gave me the mandate or the responsibility to work with the civil society organization.
Okay.
As a political party, we need civil society organization. We need to engage all those civil society organizations. So it's my duty, from the background of being me leading Crazy and working with other social movements and civil organizations. If we have programs in PDP, we invite, or through me, I'll invite those civil society organizations, trying to build a strong relationship with those civil society organizations. Because civil society organization, again, plays a pivotal role in the direction of this, in the political, direction of each and every country.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at PDP, you as being the National Youth Secretary for Civil Society and Civil Coordination,
Yes.
what some of the programs are you embarking on as we go towards the general elections in 2018?
We have launched a program, the hashtag We Vote campaign.
Okay.
The hashtag We Vote campaign is going to be fully launched next month on the 7th of June. Next week, on the 7th of June, in Guero, Midlands. We say to the young people, no. With the help of these civil society organizations, let's come together. Since there is coming a biometric voter registration, we want to fight voter apathy among the young people. Recent statistics from Zesini, it is really shocking, and it's a recipe for disaster in our country. It says 4.5% of the young people participated on the 2013 elections. It's disastrous. Concerning that, we are 67% of the entire population of Zimbabwe, and 3% are participating. It is really shocking, and it's a recipe for disaster. So we say we want to fight voter apathy. We want to encourage the young people to go and register to vote. But we are saying if you don't have the requirements needed to register, for instance, if you don't have an ID, maybe you lost your ID, you need $10 to go there. We're going to give you the $10 to go and acquire your national identity card so that you'll be able to register to vote.
Okay.
Because we believe that if the young people fully register to vote, they will vote for change.
And which areas have you embarked on this project to date?
To date, we in Norton. In Norton, we have helped so far more than 86 youths with these identity documents, so that they'll be able to register. And they are ready. As soon as the registration kick off, they will go and register. And we want to monitor the young people. As soon as the registration process starts, we want to monitor them. We want to force them this time. Please go and register to vote, because ignorance is killing the young people. They are very ignorant.
So apart from Norton, which other areas have you?
It's only Norton.
It's only Norton.
Yes, and we are targeting Gweru, town, and we are targeting again Chitungiza, St. Mary's and Makon.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And I've seen that Crazy, as you rightly said, works hand in hand with PDP.
Yes.
And it's Crazy in the run-up to 2018 general elections. What is Crazy doing in that run-up to the 2018 general elections?
Crazy is really pushing for free and fair election. What we want to see as an organization is free and fair election, where every Zimbabwean will participate freely to choose, because it's your constitutional right to do so, to choose whoever you want to vote for.
Okay.
So we are pushing for, as I said earlier, we have before sent a petition to Rita Makarawa, and we are going there again, saying, now, what's up, Rita Makarawa? We have said we need alignment of these electoral reforms. Where are we now? So that the environment will be conducive for each and everyone who wants to stand come 2018. So it's our main program now is Crazy, that we want to see, a conducive electoral environment come 2018, and we are doing everything we can, trying to mobilize the young people to go to stand and register to vote, trying to push for electoral reforms so that we have a free and fair election.
Okay.
Yes.
And in such a harsh economic environment in Zimbabwe, how is Crazy managing?
Crazy, I can say that we could have doing more as an organization, but the thing which is continue underlining the heading of impossibilities, that of capital. But we are trying. We have a lot of well-wishers, and Crazy intends to fund itself through subscription fees and donor funding, as well as fundraising project. But because of capital, we did not even initiate a single fundraising project, because we don't have capital. But we have well-wishers who donate sometimes, who come. If we have a program, you need placards, we can do placards. We need t-shirts, we can do t-shirts.
Okay.
Yes, that's how we are surviving. And as donor funding is concerned, these days, donors are saying, no, we can't fund individual organizations, especially Southern Africa. Come up with joint programs as an organization or as civic organization. Come together, join hands towards a certain goal. We are going to fund.
So is that why Crazy is working in conjunction with PDP?
Yes, and with other existing organizations.
Okay.
Yes, that is the reason. Okay. Not only that we want to get donor funding, but we believe in collective efforts. we believe in collective efforts.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for that. But then now I'll give you the time to clarify any areas that you thought maybe you didn't do justice, or any add-ons that you want to make.
I want to send a clarion call to the youth of Zimbabwe, to the young people, and say to the young people, it's our responsibility as the young people to fight for the future we desire. Truly speaking, we have lost 3 generations. Mugabe and ZANU-PF has urinated on our future as the young people. Our future is in tatters because of Mugabe. But we should not be crying babies. If you read the Bible, let me take you to the Word of God. If you read the Bible, there's a story of the man called Simeon. When he heard that Christ has been born, Simeon said, I can now die. I can now safely die, because what was written has been fulfilled. So can we say as the young people, we can then now die, or we can now sit and relax because Zimbabwe is safe in the hands of the likes of Kudai Chipanga, the hands of the likes of Grace Mugabe, the hands of the likes of Kasukuwere? Are we safe in Zimbabwe? We are not safe. We are not safe. As the young people, we need to stand now and fight. Let's go and register to vote. Let us not be, the problem with us, the young people, or as the electorate in Zimbabwe is one, we are corrupt. That is the tragedy, and it's a tragedy of gigantic proportion. Whenever we are being given a vote as an instrument of decision making, how do we use a vote in Zimbabwe? We wait for some thief to come and give me $50 so that I'll vote, or I direct my votes towards him. So we elect good men, we elect people to take public office on the basis of their ethnic experience, extraction, or according to the depth of their pockets. And that's the problem. And we are saying, no. Let us not do that. Let us stand for what we believe in. Even if they come, let us kill the vibe of corruption which is in us as the young people, and stand and try to build our future. Not only our future, but that of the next generation. So it's a clarion call I'm sending to the young people in Zimbabwe, that it is our responsibility. Let's stand on it. Let's take it. Let's fight for the future we desire. Let's fight, for Ramangwana Revana Vedu. They will say, our parents did their best. They fought this for, because for our generation, we have lost it. I'm 27 years now. I'm not working, but I went to school. It's because of poor governance. It's because of poor governance. We are all poor in Zimbabwe, not because we have decided to be poor, but because Zimbabwe is poorly governed by the Mugabe system. And as the young people, let's initiate programs. Let us not look forward to these politicians, MPs, the president, the ministers, because these MPs and these politicians have bastardized democracy, and they are supporting the status quo because they have bastardized democracy. And let us remember the words of Kwame Nkrumah in 1963. He said, let us neither look east or west, but let us look forward. As the young people, let's look forward and face the future and fight the future we want. The time to fight for the future we want is today. Let's do that. Lastly, I want to claim on you journalism. The words of Kwame Nkrumah in 1963 said, a journalist with a pen in his or her hand is like a soldier holding an AK-47. You can use it to kill or to defend. As we are going towards 2018 elections, I appeal to you, journalists. Use your pen to defend. Use your pen to defend the Zimbabweans. Use the pen to defend the down criers, not to kill the down criers. Because down criers will never cry fire where there is no fire. So, journalists, support Zimbabwe, support the suffering Zimbabweans. Some of you, because of maybe these economic hardships, you are benefiting from the status quo. But as we are approaching 2018 elections, please, 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 have the change of heart. Have the change of heart. Support us. Let's push. As we are engaging in a lot of programs, if I say we extend our invitation to you to come and cover our program, because coverage is very important. Please, tinokumbirayo kuti munge muripo.
Tichange tichita kudaro, isu mukangotitaurira tinouya kosa. As Pamushana News, we are there to tell the story as it is, unbiased. We are there to support and report on progressive voices.
Yes, so yes. Thank you, Pamushana News. This is the clear message I'm sending to the Zimbabweans, especially the young people. We are the change. Let's start to initiate. Let's start to think what's from today going forward is not our strength that will usher us to a new Zimbabwe, but it's our ideas that will take us there. I thank you.
Okay. Well, the nation, you've heard it yourself from the crazy founder and the shadow MP for Zaka West, Mr. Elvis Mugari. Till we meet again next time. Bye-bye.